For those who don't know, who's Matt Campoli?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a guy with hair, eyes. I have a nose. Yeah, so I was actually born and raised in Toronto, GTA. Classic entrepreneurial story. No idea what I wanted to do until the age of like 24. At this time in my life, I love this story because it literally like it all happened by accident for me. My whole family, we come from a line of barbers and hairstylists. So I started cutting my buddies' hairs. I learned how to fade from YouTube. So when these people were seeing my buddies with these somewhat decent fades, they're like, "Where'd you get these haircuts?" Like, "Oh, Matt does it." I remember my first day I made $50 in haircuts in a night. I was like, holy shit, I'm rich. Like, this is crazy. Long story short, ended up building a barber business over the years. I did it for 7 years while I was in university. Fast forward when I was like 23 years old, I saw this guy pull up in his Mustang and I'm like, who's this? Like, oh, it's a real estate agent. Saw him point out the obvious in the house and do his thing. And then I researched like, what can realtors make? I do a couple of these a year. I can make like 60K. If I do like one a month, I can make like 100 grand. I'm like, that's like life-changing money. I was like, I have all these people, all these clients, 200 plus people who trust me with their life because I cut their hair. I'm pretty sure I could probably get these guys to trust me with a house. Did my first $1.2 million deal from a hair client. 9 years in real estate now. Yeah. I have my team. We're doing great. It's awesome. But I've always had like a vision for my life of what I want it to look like. Yeah. And real estate, it's a good vehicle. It got me to where I'm at now. It's not gonna get me to where I want to be.
Where do you want to be exactly?
I strive for like I want to build a company and sell it. Like I want to be
millions of dollars.
Yes, big time.
All right, Matt, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for accepting this last minute. Really appreciate it.
Hey,
I've been seeing your stuff for more than 5 years now. We actually have the same, like we have the same path. Basically, we have a podcast. You have a podcast for realtors. I have a podcast for realtors and mortgage brokers. We interviewed Ryan Serhan. He actually came to Toronto, I think, for you.
I went to New York.
You went to New York?
Yeah.
I thought he came to Toronto. Okay.
No, I did it in his office.
That's amazing. So I had a podcast with Ryan. I brought him to Montreal after. So I went to New York in his office for a podcast as well. So we have a similar story. How old are you?
33.
33. We're kind of the same age. 31. So man, like one of the reasons why I got to know you is because I was searching for other podcasters for realtors and mortgage brokers who's doing actually a good job.
Yeah.
And I found this Price to Sell, and you guys were doing an amazing job. I'm like, this guy is doing the same thing in Ontario. I'm like, he's the same version of me, but in Quebec.
Yeah.
Right? That's amazing, man. That's amazing. How did you? For those who don't know, like I know you pretty well by looking at your social medias and seeing your podcast. So who's Matt Campoli? Who is you now? And right now you're into other businesses as well. So we want to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a guy with hair, eyes. I have a nose. Yeah. So I was actually born and raised in Toronto, GTA, Italian family, and classic entrepreneurial story. No idea what I wanted to do until the age of like 24, and then I just real estate just kind of fell in my lap. Still didn't know what real estate was. Like I didn't know. I had no business acumen. I went through the system, like most, without really exploring what I wanted to do for my life. It was just more like old school Italian family. Like you need to be a teacher, lawyer, doctor. Like you need to have a profession.
So Italians do? You have the same expectations?
Very much so.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So old school, right? And then so that was my goal, man. So let's go to school. I was good at school. Let's then go to university. And by the time I finished high school, my grade I kind of slacked a bit in high school. Like my average wasn't the best, but I still got into university. I just wasn't going to be going for anything like no law school, no med school, nothing like that. Like that wasn't academically the road I was going to go. So, but I did what I needed to do. I got to university. Then I got to university. It's like, okay, now what do I do? So I was like, worked my whole life to like get into university. It's like, what do I do now? So I was very confused as like a younger 20-year-old. So I was taking, the major was called undecided because I was truly undecided.
Oh, there's a major called
undecided. Where you're just doing the must take courses, like your electives and stuff, like courses I had to take
it's
anyways.
Pretty funny as a name.
Yeah, exactly. Undecided. So then still didn't know. I was still undecided by the end of that year. So I took a year off and I worked landscaping. And then I was thinking like, again, just family pressure. Like, why don't you become a plumber or electrician? Like my cousin made good money as an electrician. I'm like, okay, like maybe I'll get into a trade. I was going that classic path, right? Especially where I grew up and my surroundings and all that. I worked this landscaping job and it was brutal, man. Like I was getting paid $13 an hour And it wasn't landscaping like cutting grass. It was like hardscape. So we're doing interlocking pools, hard ass work with machines and stuff. But I was a laborer. So I was just wheelbarrow, putting stone down, shipping gravel, rock, all this stuff, and getting yelled at all day. So to me, I was just looking at the guys who are much older, who've been doing this for their entire life, and they're all looking at me. They're like, stay in school, kid.
Really?
Yeah, like stay in school. I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm already hating my life at this moment. I'm doing this for a year, So I bought a car, whatever, and I went back to school. And then all my friends were in business, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'll study business. But I didn't know what business was. Business is so general. So I just took in like business classes. I took an economics class. I'm like, what's economics? And then finally, I thought to myself, like, what do I enjoy? I really like history. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna study what I love. I love history, so I studied like classical, modern, all that stuff. And I'll follow in the footsteps of my mother, who was a teacher, and I'll go into teachers college and teach history. And if things really work out, maybe I'll teach gym, because the gym teacher looks like he has the best job in the world, right?
Yeah.
At this time in my life, I love this story because it literally, like, it all happened by accident for me. If it was up to me, I would have just been teaching. But like the way things just happened, it was like other forces were like pushing everything at me. It's like, no, you this is not your path, and now I'm gonna throw this at you until you wake up, So my best friend's Gabe. My mom taught hair and aesthetics. She taught hairdressing in school, and my whole family, we come from a line of barbers and hairstylists. So I had the equipment at my house, and my friends knew that. So they're like, Matt, you always have cool hairstyles. Can you come cut our hair? So I started cutting my buddies' heads. And then we were 19 at the time, like 19, 20, 21. So we started to go out, right? Nightclubs, all that stuff, drinking age. Not like Montreal, we have to wait a little longer. And everyone that we were seeing in the nightclubs and bars and whatnot were saying, like, where'd you guys get your haircuts? Because fading wasn't a thing at the time like it is now. Now you can get a fade anywhere. Where we were all going to our 56-year-old hairstylist who had no idea how to fade. So when I learned how to fade from YouTube, so when these people were seeing my buddies with these somewhat decent fades, they're like, where'd you get these haircuts? Like, oh, Matt does it. And they're like, Matt, how much you charge? I'm coming to you. I'm like, oh, damn, like, I don't charge, but like, okay, like, meet me tomorrow. Give me $5, right? And I started posting things on Facebook, started building a clientele. And then, I'll never forget the first day, because in school, I was just working part-time at a clothing store. So I was making $80 every 2 weeks. And I remember my first day, I made $50 in haircuts in a night. I was like, holy shit, I'm rich. Like, this is crazy. I just made $50 in like 5 hours, $10 an hour per haircut. I cut 5 people. I was like, I'm gonna lean into this a little more, and it's all cash. So long story short, I ended up building a barber business over the years. I did it for 7 years while I was in university.
I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
amazing.
And I had a clientele of over like 200 guys coming to me. And through my clients I started to really see all the different walks of life, I also built a lot of personable skills, like being a people person, being able to be a chameleon and adapt to all different types of people who sit in my chair, whether it doesn't matter your background, race, interests, job. I had to adapt to have a conversation, hold a conversation down for 30 minutes. So I had to be a chameleon, right? So I was picking up all these really serious life skills. And then, I realized, like, okay, I'm not working for anyone anymore. I really enjoy working for myself. I'm making good money. I don't know if I want to teach anymore. I don't know if I want to have a cap on what I can make. Like, I woke up, the entrepreneur in me that was like screaming to come out, came out. I'm like, okay, like, I have my degree, which is great, but like, I don't want to go this path anymore. What else can I do? I don't want to stand and cut hair my whole life either, because it just didn't seem like a feasible job, very active income. So at that point in my life, again, just the way things unfolded was pretty cool. I grew up, my parents were divorced. So my mother was always renting, right? So I was always hopping around different houses with my mom, renting. So I always had a desire for a house. And I would go to like, pre-con developments, grab her like a flyer and be like, hey, like there's new townhouses being built over here. Like, can you buy one? But I didn't understand the financials behind it, right? And she just couldn't afford it at the time. So fast forward, when I was like 23 years old, she finally purchased the house. And she's like, do you want to come to the showing with me? So I pulled up. And I saw this guy pull up in his Mustang, and I'm like, who's this? Like, oh, it's a real estate agent. I was like, oh, it's a job. Like, this is a career. This is cool. Saw him point out the obvious in the house and do his thing. And then I researched, like, what can realtors make? I saw it's a commission-based job. You can make, anywhere from, 2.5%, 2%, whatever of the sale price. So I did the math. I'm like, this guy just made 15 grand. It's like, holy shit. I'm like, if I do one of these, I do a couple of these a year, I can make like 60K. If I do like one a month, I can make like 100 grand. I'm like, that's like life-changing money. I was like, I have all these people, all these clients, 200 plus people who trust me with their life because I cut their hair. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Trust me with their life.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
I'm pretty sure I could probably get these guys to trust me with a house.
Yeah.
Right. So I got my license, did the 9 months, got my license, and then kept cutting hair for about 2 years into my real estate career. I was just planting seeds in the chair. Like, I'm a realtor now, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Did my first $1.2 million deal from a hair client because he was venting to me how he just hated the experience with his agent. I'm like, listen, like, give me a shot. I'm new, but like, you know me, you trust me. You've been coming to me for like 4 years. Like, you know how I am. I'll take care of you. Did it, got the deal done. And then it got to a point where I was way too busy with real estate. So I just shut down the barbering business. And that was it. I just, again, getting into the real estate, I found good mentors, but I had no idea what an interest rate was. Like, I had no real knowledge of this business world of what real estate is. So it was a big learning curve for me. All I knew was that I had faith in myself. I was very good with people, and I can sell.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So I have a friend of mine who is actually living the same path as you. He has 2 barbershops.
Okay.
He's actually an agent. So he's kind of balancing both at the same time. And I'm always asked him, hey, come on, man. Why don't you just stop cutting hair and why don't you do this full time? He's like, yeah, but I'm talking to so many people, so many clients. I don't know if I'm sure I'm going to lose some opportunities if I stop cutting hair.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
What's
because
his name?
He went, Fad.
Fad?
Yeah, Fad.
Stop it.
Why?
My business skyrocketed after I dropped
Really?
barbering. Yeah, because energy, right?
Yeah.
He built a barber business successfully.
Great barbershops, yeah.
All those guys trust him.
100%. Like, you have 2 barbershops, always busy.
Yeah. So if he can, if he can scale it where he doesn't have to be the guy cutting, and then
You
he
can
can
still run it without him. Like,
yeah. So pop in, you still get FaceTime with all those guys, but like I was doing where, for me, I was like, okay, I was willing to take the risk of like these guys aren't going to come see me anymore. I'm going to lose contact with them. However, I doubled up on my activity in other ways. So, really active in the gym and that community, going to multiple gyms, actually spending a lot of time in the sauna. People used to laugh at me, but I used to do so much business in the sauna. But I took that time and space that I had, and I just went hard on like building a new network. Those guys, it wasn't because it wasn't like because I stopped cutting hair, they were now like, oh, he's no longer my barber. I don't need to use him ever for real estate. They all still used me. Because, believe it or not, a lot of people just don't know or have really good relationships with like multiple agents. Although there's a ton of us out there, but these guys really trusted me with their life, which was their hair.
If you think of it, like a barbershop, you build a connection with this person every week for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Whereas an agent, it's maybe a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Yeah, you can be a great people's person.
Yeah.
Being a realtor, but you don't see that person every day. You're not talking to that person every week.
Yeah.
Right. You did that, so people knows you for years. So
Exactly.
You stop, you have that relationship with that person for
Yeah.
better than any other realtor.
And I work by referral, right? So I was always like calling, there's always touch points. I wasn't like ghosting them after that. It's like always checking in. I miss them, honestly. These are like my guys, you know what I mean? So like wherever I can hang out with them, go grab dinners, stuff like that. There's still guys to this day who I haven't seen since I stopped or talked to since I stopped cutting who still call me like, Matt, my parents want to sell their home because they see me online, right? So it's a combination of all the things. The social media just kept automated the touch points for me with my whole clientele and also every new person that came into my life from that point forward.
Are you surprised that a guy from Montreal knows you like this and want to do a podcast? Is this something that is common
Because of social media?
Yeah, because of social media.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so cool to me.
Yeah,
it's super cool
great,
to me.
right?
It happens a lot. I'll travel in the most random places and run into someone who knows me,
That's crazy.
who's from like Canada or the US because they've just seen my content. Especially the podcast. Podcast is really cool. But yeah, it's a cool world. It's a cool world. It's the easiest way to succeed in business is to have a brand now and
Let's
online
talk about brand.
presence. Sure.
Talk about brand. I'm a big fan of brand. That's how I built this business I have. I'm a mortgage broker for those who don't know me. Been in the business for 9 years. Started podcasting in the basement of my parents. I didn't want to tell anybody that I was in the basement.
Yeah.
But I was interviewing top 1%ers of realtors and mortgage brokers. They were making like $1 million a year. This
Yeah.
guy's like not even making not even $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
But he convinced that person to do a podcast. Because
Yeah.
in that time there weren't any podcasting, especially in French, for realtors and mortgage brokers.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing that, and obviously a lot of people saw this. It was one of the first and the biggest podcasts, and eventually I started doing an event, got to different places now. I organized the biggest event in Montreal, and I like to say in Canada, but I'm gonna eventually get there.
Yeah.
So all this was because of branding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, podcasting and social media. So I'm a big addict of branding. How did you do that? And now you have a new business. You told me that you grew that up to 54,000 people. Tell us more. Like what do you?
Branding?
Yeah, branding. Like how come people follows you? How did you make sure like people follows you? This
Authenticity.
okay.
Yeah, I was my first year. I was told by my mentor at the time, like, don't waste your time on social media. You'll never sell a house on social media. So I took that as a challenge. I'm like, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
In the background. Still going to cold call. I was in 8 a.m. every morning, cold calling, door knocking, doing all the things. But I was like, I'm going to secretly do stuff on the side. And for me, it was opportunity around video. So video just started to become a thing in the real estate space at that time. And I made my first real estate video and hated it because I was doing what all the other realtors were doing, which wasn't me. So I'm a sensitive guy when it comes to like if I'm not in alignment with myself, because I do have a very spiritual side and I do a lot of deep work with myself. So I was able to know right then and there, like, this is not, Matt, if you want to keep doing video, it can't be like this. Like, this is not your true self, you know? So why even put this out there? It's fake. Me just standing there like crossed arms or like, welcome to 123 Street, coming by, you know, like all this whole like ego. It wasn't me. So I'm like, who am I? What do my friends know me for? I'm the weirdest guy in the room. I'm a troll. I make a lot of really dry jokes all the time. Like, that's me. Like I like to get a kick out of everybody. I like to make a room laugh. Like, that's who I am. So it's like, how can I take my comedy, which is who I am, and spin it into one of the more serious things, which is someone's most valuable asset in their life. Like, how can I bring my humor, but then not also disappoint them that I'm misrepresenting them? So there's a big challenge for me to like, okay, like, this is me, but I'm selling the most important thing in this person's life, which is their home. I have to be serious. If I come and bring this humor towards this, like, they're going to fire me. It's going to misrepresent them. And it'll look like this guy's not taking things seriously. But I said, screw it. I did it anyways. And I took my first opportunity. I made my first funny video. Scared to death. I actually blocked my seller on Instagram so he wouldn't see it. And then the video did so well, and people were like, man, this is so different. Like, I actually watched the video. Like, I watched the whole thing. Right? So I'm like, okay, I think I want something here. And I enjoyed it, man. Like, I was like loving my life because I was able to be myself. So I just continued to do that. And I think the key thing for me in the brand build was everyone started to follow me because they saw me having the best time just being me. You know, here's a guy posting content, loving his life, being himself. Okay. Right? And I shared my wins, shared my losses. Like, I was just being a real guy online. When online, there was a mix of a lot of fakeness, a lot of like highlight reels of people just their successes. But I'm like, let's show it all. I want to show my personal side. I want to show when I'm on vacation. I want to show my cat. You know, I'm not scared to like show my tattoos. Like, this is me. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, great. You know, maybe we might not even have had a great working relationship together anyways, right? And maybe you're not my people. But if I'm showing myself for who I am online, I feel like I'm going to attract the people I actually want to work with. So it was like my own little filter system. So this is like my mind and my thought process at the time. And now fast forward, best thing I ever did. Most people that ever approach me to like speak on stage or like podcasts and stuff like that, it's like they're inspired by me just being me. Like raw, authentic me without any fucks given. Like, no cares in the world. I don't care what people think, you know? So Yeah, I mean, we're all our own people. So like we all have a starting point, which is how can we be different? Be yourself. I can't be you. You can't be me. Can't be him. Right? If you're watching, I can't be you, can't be me. It is what it is. So like we all have our own edge as a human, and it's really not hard to tap into. You're yourself with your family, your best friends, you know, all the time. If you could just be that on camera and spin it in a way where you can make it fun, engaging, and valuable, you're winning. So that's what brand
Great
building
advice,
is.
man.
Yeah,
That's true. If you think of it, you know, that's completely true. I don't have to add anything on that. Let me go ask you a question about the podcast. Why did you start a podcast? Like in my story is, I was sucking at mortgage brokering. Like wasn't a good broker. I started when I was 22, so I didn't have any experience in the business side. Got dropped out of school. Actually, they kicked me out of school.
Okay.
That's pretty much the story. So kind of lost. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get into mortgage brokering. But somebody told me, hey, you could become a mortgage broker. You don't have to only work as a realtor in real estate. I'm like, what the heck is a mortgage broker? I went on Google, searched on Google, what's a mortgage broker, and Google told me it's a free job. Basically, it's a free service for the client, and you work with all the banks. You shop around, you get the best rate. I'm like, wow, it's a great job. And the cherry on the sundae is you can work from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck, that's what I want to do. Got into the mortgage brokering, and I struggle a lot. Like how would we if you didn't know my age, you will give me like maybe 26, 27. That's pretty much what people give me. So at 22, I look like a 18 years old kid.
Yeah.
I don't even have the beard that I have right now, and it's still thin. You know, like it's not, I don't have the same, right?
Yeah.
So super hard, but and then I decided to do. You know what? I need to hang around with really successful brokers. How do I do that? Well, talk to them, but why would they spend an hour with me? That's not possible. Like, I'm not there yet. I'm not a successful broker. Here you go. I'm gonna do a podcast. I'm gonna showcase them. I'm gonna interview them, and on top of it, I did the market research. There were nobody doing a podcast for realtors and mortgage broker in French in Quebec. I'm like, holy shit, that's what I'm gonna do. Tried to call a lot of top brokers. Eventually, one said yes. From that person to another. Eventually, I got all the information. I shared it with the world. At the same time, I was applying in my business, and my business skyrocketed.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I started doing a podcast. It was a selfish reason, but at the same time, like I will share. I don't mind sharing with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, what was your reason? Because your podcast is a real estate broker's podcast. So, like, real estate broker don't really send you business, right? It's just you're giving more values to brokers than you getting values other than having the information for yourself.
Yeah, so for me, it was when COVID hit, I started another podcast before. It was called the It's Simple podcast.
Okay.
It was with my business partner now, Zoe. We were both on like the same path where people were starting to reach out to us and be like, hey, like, you know, I need help with this, or like I'm thinking of like leaving my 9-to-5 and doing this, and because people started to see me online doing my thing. Zoe had a really cool story too, so we're like, fuck, there's nowhere for these people to get information in Toronto, like locally. So why don't we start a podcast that puts all of the biggest entrepreneurs in the city in front of us, and we pick them apart. Like we want to break down like their failures. We want to show people like all these people who feel uninspired, like, oh, I'll never be like that. Look at that guy. He's a McLaren. He's got the perfect life, wife, all this stuff. We're like, we want to show these people that they didn't just start there. Like, this is where they're at now, but like they have to go through the dirt, right? So that was a really cool podcast. And then as we were like phasing that off because we both got busy, my good friend Ernesto hit me up and he's like, listen, we're starting a real estate podcast. I want you to be the host. They already have their own podcast as well called Money Buys Happiness. And so they had
those guys.
Yeah. They're my business partner. They're my partners on Price to Sell. Yeah, exactly.
Patrick Bedev on the podcast.
Yeah. So they're my partners on Price to Sell. So he hit me up. He's like, we have it all: the setup, the place, the studio. You just need to be the guy. We're putting your face on it. I was like, no, I'm too busy. And he's like, dude, I'm not taking no from you. You're doing it. I was like, okay, fine. I thought I was too busy at the time. It's 2021. The market was booming, right? Like I was fucking doing deals, all kinds. But so happy he forced me. It was the best thing I ever did. And yeah, started Price to Sell. Became like one of the biggest podcasts in the city for the real estate industry. Got to interview Ryan Serhant. Did a lot with it. And for me, it was at the time, it wasn't like I came up with the idea. It was more like I brought into the idea. But then while I was doing it, I was like, oh, like, so what are the, like, what are the values of this for me? Because I'm putting all these other agents, in theory, who are my competitors, on a pedestal and showcasing them to the world, right? A lot of people are coming to me like, what's the point of this? Like, you're literally highlighting all these other, like, I had agents calling me saying, hey, I saw this guy on your podcast. I want to join his brokerage. Can I ask you some questions about him before I join the brokerage? Right?
I get that all the time.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Like me, I'm a big believer in like, I want to just give, and I know I'll receive, right? I believe in good karma and all that. So for me, I just told people like this, I don't care that I'm putting them on the pedestal. I hope they get a million deals from the podcast. I'm also learning a shit ton from them because they're the top guys in the industry. So like I was building a team at the time. So I was just a sponge and a student on the chair every time. And I had the value of having free conversations where the average may have to spend 10 grand to get an hour of that person's time, you know? And I had a platform that was able to give this person a value to come and sit beside me to then share all their wisdom with me. And I took everything home with myself and built.
When I say we have the same similar story, exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying. Well, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, that was it. And then that led to the house tour channel, touring luxury properties around the world on YouTube. And then, put the podcast on hold now. I think it did its time. And now I'm ready for the next chapter of Matt's
Why
life.
don't you just hire somebody else to do it?
I don't know. I think it did its time. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your how did you get Ryan Serham, man? Like
one of my guests on the podcast, Justin Konikow, he was connected to Ryan.
Yeah.
And then I was very vocal about wanting Ryan.
Yeah.
On the show. Like everyone knew I wanted Ryan. If you listen to the podcast, I was always mentioning like I'm gonna get Ryan Serhant. So one day, Justin texted me. He's like, "Have you had Ryan on the show yet?" I'm like, "Ryan who?" He's like, "Serhant." I'm like, "No, obviously not." He's like, "Give me an hour." Get a text an hour later. He's like, "He's in." I'm like, "Who's in?" He's like, "Ryan." I'm like, "Serhant." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" Like, call me, man. Like, what's going on here? And then I'm in an email thread with his team, and then he's like, "Yeah, he's in. He just got to go to New York in 2 weeks." I'm like, "Hey, I'm done there." So that was it.
That's it.
That's how it happened. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That was it, yeah.
So me, it's a different story. So basically, I got him to my conference last year, 900 people in Montreal in February. After that, obviously, since I had a conference, I just asked him, man, why don't you do a podcast with me? And they were like super down to it. So I went to New York. He's a super chill guy, you know, like
Very chill guy.
what you see on the camera is exactly the same person.
Yeah. And I got him on like probably
a little bit more stress in person. Like he has always his phone ringing all the time.
He was to me. I mean, I get it because I was there when they launched this course.
Okay.
So like it was a big launch, like course launch day. And so you can see like he was looking at the time, like, oh, the course launches, you know. So I mean, like, fuck, this guy even took me on a day like that, right? So it's cool.
It's cool, yeah. Like I was doing the podcast and he has his cell phone on the side, and he's like, "Yo, give me a minute, man. This freaking agent, stop calling me."
Yeah,
that was so funny. Like he was actually doing a business, dealing with a transaction, and the broker keep calling, harassing him.
Yeah,
and he had to like stop the podcast, dealing with that shit.
Yeah,
and then hop into the podcast again. Great guy. So what's your new adventure? Like you're going into something else. Like, you kind of surprised me. I didn't even know that the
it
podcast.
Surprised me too. So I mean, like 9 years in real estate now.
Yeah.
I have my team. We're doing great. It's awesome. But I've always had like a vision for my life of what I want it to look like.
Yeah.
And real estate, it's a good vehicle it got me to where I'm at now, and it'll continue to do great things for me. But it's not gonna get me to where I want to be.
What do you want to? Where do you want to be exactly?
I strive for like I want to build a company and sell it. Like I want to be
millions of dollars.
Yes, big time.
Big
right?
time. Like what's your game? What's your goal?
Like
if you have to aim
like
a million.
9-10 figures.
Okay. 100 mil.
100 to a bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool, man.
And to get in that range, you have to do something big, right?
That's what I was saying. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just gonna say this. A lot of people ask me like, can you make millions of dollars in real estate? Mm-hmm. Yes, in real estate as an investor, if you have like thousands of doors, but as a realtor, like in Montreal with our cap, you can make 5 mil as a realtor. A mortgage broker 2, 3, 4, 5 mil by yourself, having a big team, but
a lot of overhead too.
A lot of overheads.
Yeah.
Like, but if you can't really scale that business. You know,
It's tough, man. It's very transactional.
it's very
Right. That's
transactional.
why companies like EXP did well and like Real, because it's giving the realtors the opportunity to like make passive income, which is huge for us because it's very active income. You know,
Yeah.
if you shut your phone off, are you still making money in the mortgage business other than maybe your team still selling?
No. Well,
Exactly. Same as an agent. Like unless I have a team selling for me, if I decide to shut my phone off and go live in Thailand for 3 months, I'm making no money. Unless I have real estate investments and stuff, which I do. But in theory, it's a very transactional job, right? Great job. Like you can make a killing doing it. Like you said, like I know guys making, the 2 to 5 mil echelon range every year. But for me, again, I just have this vision for myself, and like just selling real estate my whole life isn't gonna get me there, right? And I know that. So I know things take time, and last year I've been hanging out with a lot of founders, so guys who have had exits, 100 mil, 50 mil, most random things in the world, man. Like these guys built the most random things in the world and sold it. And I was like, this is fucking cool. Can I swear?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I was like, this is fucking cool, man. Like this guy, like dug deep for 4 years, sold 48 million. Like my buddy Aaron had on my podcast. He sold Hush Blankets on Dragon's Den and all that. Started with 5K, ended up with 48 million exit, right? I love that shit. I love that shit.
Can you imagining 48 million doing real estate transaction? Like you're gonna take you fucking 20 years to
for sure. And like I do some commercial stuff now because obviously like bigger commissions, bigger price points. So like don't get me wrong, you can absolutely crush it in real estate. It's just personal preference for me of where I've my visualization of where my life is in the future. I'm just not selling real estate. I just know that. I know that deep down. I'm just that version of Matt won't be selling real estate like he is now. He has other stuff going on. So I got super obsessed with the idea of building a startup and then getting acquired, right? And just building something and making it my baby. And I didn't know what that was. I'm around all these guys and I have all these really cool ideas. And like this guy just sold for this much. I met this other guy in Greece. He sold his online news article for 50 mil. He did that in 5 years. I'm like, holy shit, man! Like there's a lot of really cool opportunities out there in the most random ways, right? Which speaks to like the old version of me who thought I had to get into some sort of a profession because that's all I knew. Like you know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Me being in the real estate space, all I know is real estate and how to leverage my money to make more money, which is real estate investments, getting more doors, building a team, scaling, maybe doing some commercial, maybe doing some pre-con. Like those are the avenues. But when I started to expand my circle outside of real estate into the world of the founders, it was just a light bulb went off, man. I just started to see like a new light that I resonated with me, like my soul, right? So I found it super cool. And I was like, you know what? I really like this idea, but I don't know what the hell to start. So I'm going to keep doing this real estate thing. And I trust the process and like maybe something will come across my desk. And then November, my boy Zoe calls me. It's funny because he's always a part of these chapters in my life with this idea. And we started this event series called The Coffee Party. And it took off. It's doing amazing. It's now a global phenomenon. We're traveling the world with it. And this connects with me on a soul level a lot deeper than just selling real estate does, right? So right now, that's where I'm at. I'm just balancing both. There's a lot of really cool potential that we're building there. And I see a really cool, I see a lot of like really cool potential with that. And I'm a big travel guy. So this allows me the ability to go and throw my events in all the coolest cities in the world. Like I'm going to Barcelona in 2 weeks. Never been. So
how do you get that contract?
Social media, man.
That's amazing.
Everything's still social media.
Let me ask you this: like, we get some jobs, some businesses, you can't really like copy because it's super hard to like, the price of entry is super hard.
For what?
Like any businesses, like some SaaS businesses say.
Oh yeah.
It's super hard. In your business, the idea is amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure like a lot of people will join in, and you're already seeing the results. But how do you make sure that, you stay original, and that not other people copy you? Like it's a great idea.
How do these guys do it?
You tell me.
They're competing with Monster,
Branding.
Red Bull. Yeah, branding. they also came out with, they solved the problem, right? The problem in the energy drink space was Monster is full of bullshit ingredients and sugar. Red Bull's full of bullshit ingredients and sugar. Yeah, Red Bull has the no sugar, but these guys branded around a healthy alternative. Although their ingredients still, if you really want to dive deep on it, not the best, but they branded around that. So people resonated with that. So they solved the problem.
So the branding, you're gonna focus on the branding.
Branding, and you want to solve a problem. Like you wanna find a pain point in an industry and solve a problem.
You know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
Right? Anybody can start that. It's a great.
Exactly.
The idea is great, but the way you want to do this will make the whole difference.
It's the people behind it.
Yeah.
It's the team.
Yeah.
So whether it's you starting your own company, you and a friend, you and 5 friends, it's the team. People buy the team, right? It's you gotta be different. You gotta carve yourself out where you stand out above the competition, and then the branding. Like, why is the consumer gonna buy your product over someone else's? Right?
Absolutely. That's one of the great examples you can give.
Yeah.
Like, so I haven't thought about it before I even asked the question. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, it's just like this resonated with people, right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
It came out and it gave people this healthier alternatives. People were like, okay, I love drinking my energy drink, but if this is healthier, I'm gonna drink this one, right? So you just got to tap into, like, the world's ever evolving and changing and shifting in so many different ways. There's always an opportunity coming about, right? So it's like, how do you resonate with the people of the time and where people are shifting in that time of life and our generation and the world, and get people to resonate. Like, you want people to connect with you as the founder, connect with the product, connect with whatever it is you're building. Same thing in real estate and mortgage space. Like, the reason people are going to use you over someone else is because you're a hustler. Look at all the shit you're doing. Like, look how you're working to build your own life. Do you think you're not going to put that work ethic into getting them a mortgage, right?
So, tell me again.
So for someone like hiring you, as a mortgage broker, like for me, if you put 5 guys in the room, I knew one, which is you, not the other 4. Not even on a personal level. I just know that you got a podcast, you put yourself out there, you throw events, you do all this stuff. You're an entrepreneur through and through.
Yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
I'd feel more comfortable using you because I know your work ethic is probably 10x those other 4 guys.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing in anything you're building. It's like people just want to align themselves with someone they trust, they can get behind, they can resonate with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like that speaks to all industries. And that's how things are built.
I'm gonna just put that out there as well. Like, it's crazy. Again, same parallel. I'm actually looking to purchase a SaaS business.
Nice.
So because for me, like, I'm all about like valuation, building a valuation, and having maybe an exit, or just keep it there for a while. Because I just realized that why would I put all my focus in real estate when real estate, especially mortgage brokering, it's so little. Like, every province has its border. You have to have a different license to be able to like scale that business. Like, I can't really decide to go to the States if I wanted to, even though I'll be great at it, because there's those restrictions in even provinces. But with all the effort that I'm putting, if I just put it in a global market, in a product that I can sell to everybody, imagine what I will do. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking into that. And I'm doing a lot of research on like reading books, build to sell, all that kind of books. You see, like, what does it take to bring a business to a bigger valuation? How do you bring values? How do you actually help people? So I'm sure you're in that.
We should continue building together then talk.
Absolutely, man.
Now it seems like you're starting a new journey. So am I.
Absolutely, yeah,
right?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I got into events, because events is like, it's like a lead gen for myself, for mortgages, but also to meet great people.
Yeah.
That's how I got in touch with Ryan Serhan. So now we have a connection together. Andy is another monster of a guy. PBD, Daniel G, all those guys are also doing great things. And events give me the opportunity because, like you said, build to sell. Not build to sell. Sell. What is it called? Your podcast name?
Price to sell.
Price to sell.
Yeah.
Kind of the small. Price to sell give you the platform for other people to come, and they're actually gaining a value, even though they're number one. But your platform gives them some kind of value, so you're getting the information for free.
Yes.
So I'm doing the same thing
in events.
Because these guys are super huge,
sure.
and if you want to talk to them, it's like $100,000, $200,000.
Yeah.
So I'm still paying them,
Yeah.
but not my money. Well, in the beginning, yes. After that, I get it back through selling tickets.
Exactly.
So I'm doing the same thing. It's all about like relationship. I'm really focused on building relationship with bigger people. So it's a long build up to ask the question. What are you doing? Like what did you find out on this journey about valuations and building a business? What kind of tips can you give me right now?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm still learning myself.
Yeah,
but
okay.
like, because I haven't exited yet.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like the EBITDA and like all those things and the calculations and doing all that, like, luckily my business partners are really savvy with that stuff. So I'm leaning on them for especially like raising money and things like that. Because one of them's in the VC space. So he's been a part of a lot of different things, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, like, just at a quick high level intro, it really just comes down to, is what you're creating going to be of value to someone? Like, you want to reverse engineer, like, who's the buyer? Or, like, I had one founder tell me, like, I sit down with founders all the time and ask them one question: who's the buyer? Who's your buyer? They're like, oh, I don't know yet. I'm just going to build it and see. Wrong answer. I'm not investing in you. That's how he is, right? He's like, when I meet people who are like, oh yeah, I want to get this company is who's going to acquire me. Cool. This person has mapped out who's acquiring them and how they're going to get there, right? Like, again, like, I can't tell my own stories yet because I'm still building, but I can speak to my buddy Aaron, who built Hush, and he told me this on his podcast, and this is the guy I'm talking about.
He tells me something. Hush. What is
Hush
it again?
blankets. Blankets.
Blankets. Okay.
Yeah. And now they're actually one of the sponsors of my event, Full Circle Moment. But
Oh, really?
His buyer was Sleep Country. And he knew that. And he knew that the Sleep Country founder, like owner of Sleep Country, lived in Montreal. Favorite team was Montreal Canadiens. So he got billboards of Hush blankets. He bought the billboard near the founder's house of Sleep Country.
No way.
And he sponsored the Montreal Canadiens, so Hush blankets was on the boards.
No way.
Like in the arena, like some sort of advertisement.
That's a great
So-
strategy. He's a genius.
Right? So, I mean, like, that I learned, that was a really cool nugget from him. And Sleep Country bought him. So he built it around knowing who his buyer was going to be, more or less, and just went balls to the wall. And in 48 months, he was able to exit, right? So stuff like that's super cool, man. But I'm still learning. Like, you're catching me like on the entry level of this new journey. And maybe we can talk again like a year. And,
Absolutely,
with a
absolutely.
lot more updates, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I wanted to be a good mortgage broker. Doing that, been there, doing that right now, because I put the focus, visualized it, got the right connection, good environment, and actually I'm actually doing it. You're doing the same thing where I want to start doing it. So you visualize it. You know the game plan. You have to have the right people, and just pick their brain all the time. And eventually, if you have the right product, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
I have guys. I always wonder, like, some guys, they in their resume they say 8 exits,
Yes.
9 exits.
Yeah.
It's like a pattern.
Yeah.
Like, if you understand the pattern,
Yeah.
you can get there too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, if I don't know if you hang around, if you have a lot of founders in your circle, guys who have been a part of exits.
I'm
and stuff,
starting to have them.
keep going that route if that's an interest to you. Like, for me, again, I'm a big law of attraction guy, so just the way things happen are just funny a lot of times. But I spent a lot of my winter in Tulum, and the group I was hanging out with, there's a lot of founders, a lot of guys who have had exits. And prior to my interest in this world, I never hung out with any of them. And now they're all coming to me in different forms, So it's like I'm just attracting these types of people in my life. So I'm just a sponge around them, man. Maybe I should start a podcast around that.
Yeah.
It's a founders podcast, and then just pick all their brains, right? That's a great idea. We should do it. Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. But yeah, it's just like, it's really like your circle, who you hang out with, and who you spend your time with. For me, I know I went over like Matt's future life, what it looked like, and then I put my real estate career beside it, and it's like trying to connect the dots. Like, I want this. Does this real estate give me this? No. I want this. Does real estate give me this? No. I want this. Okay, real estate can give me this, but I need something that checks off all these boxes, right? So I just know, and I have come to the agreement with myself, and it's fine, that real estate's just not going to be my forever thing. It's still my thing now. It's still got me to where I am. I'm grateful as fuck for it. But I just know what that future me looks like very clearly. And I know that there's more for me out there. And it's just part of the journey, man. It's all the journey and opening doors through all these people you meet. Like, you're networking at a very high level. Like some really cool doors I'm sure already opening up for you. They're going to continue to open up for you. If you're seeking, you'll find it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And another question about founders, like you've been around founders now, you're still hanging around with them. What do you see different from if you have to compare real estate agents versus founders, mindset wise? Well, how are they? Are they different? Are they?
It's different,
more-
man.
Yeah,
It's
because
different.
realtors, we think I'm not a realtor, but I'm gonna put myself in that category as well. I'm a mortgage broker. We think that we're entrepreneurs as well, but are we?
We are.
Yeah. Okay.
We are. But I feel like the ones who truly become the entrepreneurs in the business, like truly see, like become obsessed with the idea of being an entrepreneur, might very well end up in doing different things, whether that's, you know, starting your own real estate office. So now you're the owner of it and you're building the business. Maybe just want to be like a really savvy team leader and like use all your entrepreneurial skills. Like I know some kick-ass team leaders, man. Like these guys are like, in terms of like self-development and knowledge and like just being a good human, like these guys are top level.
Yeah.
But their passion is really like so invested in that real estate team. That's their passion. Me, my passions are a little bit different, and that's okay. So I feel like real estate can really open up the door and in your brain and your eye, like open up the eyes in terms of like what's possible. But yeah, are there, you know, agents out there who might be a little more small-minded than others? For sure. But I feel like every industry will have, you know.
100%. Yeah, you're right on that. But and the follow-up question is, how different is founders versus realtors?
Well, lifestyle, massive difference.
What do you mean by that?
Well, a lot more freedom in the founder world,
Yeah.
right? Like you've maybe not so much when you're building it, but afterwards, I feel like there's a lot more purpose behind in that space too, and a lot more fulfillment, right? Because human nature, like we all want to. We've been trying to conquer the world since day one. You know what I mean? Like men, women too. Okay, but like go back in time, Alexander the Great. Like we all want the most. We want to reach our full human potential, right? We want to exceed, accomplish, you know, just create impact. You know what I mean? And you can see that through the founders because they did in their own ways, right? And I'm not shitting on real estate, but like
No, wait, no. I'm just
in
I'm just
real
curious.
in real
I'm just
estate,
curious.
like I don't see it having that big of an impact. You know what I mean? Like that same scale. So I see that passion. You could just really feel that passion in a lot of these like founders, entrepreneurs, guys who are building things, exiting things, versus just the day-to-day realtor.
I think real estate, especially for someone like me who didn't know exactly what to do, it saved my life, gave me a
Same.
lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But so we can never shit on real estate. Just that it's if you want to do bigger things, actually real estate helped me.
Mm-hmm.
No, people skills, communication skills. I used to stutter when I was younger.
Yeah.
I used to get bullied. All this stupid stuff that, you know, real estate forced me to like become a new character, a new
Yeah.
person to be able to, you know,
Yeah.
face the world. And
Mhm.
now I have all the skill set to go to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And actually, real estate gave me the
Exactly.
possibility to do it. If you can be a big entrepreneur, a big founder in real estate by acquiring a lot of properties, and you know that's solving problems all every
Yeah.
day. Right?
Well, we're talking about Ryan already. Let's give a prime example of someone who's a founder in the real estate space, right?
Yeah.
Founded Sirhan. He's solving a lot of problems. He found a gap in the industry and he's making it, you know, he's leveraging AI. He's leveraging the new digital age of marketing to sell his properties. He's taken a pain point and he's revolutionized the real estate space. Like that's his founder story, right? He's expanded all over the States, maybe Canada one day, who knows? The name Sirhan is popping up everywhere. That guy is conquering right now, right? Like it's in his DNA to just go out and conquer as much as possible. Like we all have that in us, you know what I'm saying? So just speaking to your point, but that's a prime example of someone in real estate who's now taken the opportunity, saw the gap, took a skill that was pretty much innate in him, which is like his ability to market and media and get crazy eyeballs on all of his listings, and just made a whole business model of that and just literally taking over, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Interesting, man.
Mhm.
Very interesting. We could talk for hours.
Mhm.
I'll make it dive into like the last question I have for you, Matt.
Sure.
First one is, if you have to go back to your younger self and give you one advice, take that time machine, give you one advice that can maybe change your path. Don't tell me like, I wouldn't change my path. Everything is like
Yeah. Yeah.
something that it will really help you become a better version faster.
Yeah.
You could have exactly your the same journey, but just faster.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done school.
Probably what?
Would not have done school, university.
Yeah. Okay. So you lost your time there.
I feel like I could have done a lot more. Like, I mean, like, to be honest, I like, just to your point, like, I love how everything's unfolded in my life.
Yeah.
But if I knew to be a little more conscious of my surroundings quicker in regards to like the people I'm around, finding people who, let's backtrack. I think if I was able to get clear on what I want for my life sooner, I would then be able to align myself with the right people sooner, put myself in the right room sooner, and then start to really construct this journey of mine sooner, right? I think a lot of people just live unconsciously, and I was very unconscious until 24.
Yeah.
Just like waking up and go work out. I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed with the gym, but like my life was just like wake up, work out, party on the weekends, hang out with my friends, play some video games. Like I was asleep for a very long time. So if I can go back, I would tell myself to wake up a lot earlier and to get clear on like what I want, to then now start to go and search for that sooner.
You were clear in one side though, which is business, well-being, fitness.
24.
Yeah. 24.
24 years old.
Yeah, you were already there. Like you were.
That's when it really started for me.
For gym. The fitness.
No, I was in fitness when I was 18.
Okay, so you already had the shape.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You already had that vision, clearness in one side of your life, which is well-being.
Yes,
right?
well-being has always been there. Health and well-being has been like.
And if you had that same vision for the obsessed vision for somewhere else,
exactly,
you would have done it sooner.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just belief systems, man. Like I was not a confident kid at all. I got bullied too. Like I was not. Excuse me. Oh, that's a big burp. But
no,
it's a Celsius. Kidding. Like the confidence thing took me a long time to build. So I wasn't able to be like a go-getter and like put myself in these rooms and like know I was of a big value to people until my mid-20s. Like the real estate, like you said, gave you the confidence and all that. You know, same for me. So if I was able to maybe have that a lot sooner, I think I would be able to do a lot more. Because taking action comes with confidence. If I'm a non-confident human, I'm less likely to take action.
And will you say that by the fact that you weren't in the right environment? Imagine having big people, great people giving you this advices to tell you, hey, man, Matt, like it's all in your head.
For sure. I think that would have been helpful. I just think the way I grew up, I had everything going against me. Like I had everything really bashing my confidence growing up, so that first 20 years of my life was everything you can imagine to really shut down my confidence was happening. So now I'm a programmed 20-year-old, an unconfident 20-year-old programmed that I'm not enough or I'm not good enough or people don't like me, to then get over all those like negative belief systems, like those core destructive beliefs. If I was able to get over those sooner, I would probably be further.
That's crazy.
But again, to your point, I would not change anything. I wouldn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you a reader?
Yes.
What you're reading right now, and what's your best book?
I'm reading the Kabbalion right now.
The Kabbalion?
Kabbalion.
Never heard of that.
Ancient wisdom. It's Hermetic wisdom. I'm very into like ancient wisdoms.
Okay.
Like
Kabbalion. Okay.
Like secret texts, stuff, universal laws.
Okay.
I'm very into like how the universe works and everything that like principles and laws, and I apply those to life. Again, I'm a big manifester. Like this, I'm very obsessed with everything, whether it's God, universe, creator, whatever you want to call it. I'm very obsessed with that. So I'm always deep diving into stuff like that. I have my Mondays are called Mystic Mondays, and I sit down and I read my texts and I just study them. I like to study, man. But so that's what I'm reading right now. And prior to that, I was reading.
What's your best book? All-time best book?
I'd have to. I'll say a couple. Like Think and Grow Rich changed my life. I'm sure it changed many. Like that's
That's
first
my
year
first
of real
book.
estate career, like that woke me up to like now getting deeper in terms of like, you know, all these spiritual laws and stuff, you know, power of subconscious, all that. So that was a staple for me. But to be honest, man, one I really enjoyed and it shifted a lot for me was Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, I read that one as well.
Okay, so that's my life, man. Like the way he lives is how I am. Like how I want to be. So that one really struck a chord for me.
Read it or have you heard it?
I listened to him because you got to listen to his voice, man. You have to do the audiobook.
Yeah, that's what I did as well.
Yeah, that one there was very impactful for me.
What's the biggest takeaway from that book?
I just really throwing yourself out there, man. Like that guy was set up to the way his life was set up. He could have stayed small and just lived that like the classic life in Texas, but because he got out of his comfort zone and like really put himself out there and forced himself into the right rooms, like exactly how you did with PBD and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like putting the effort after no's, and he finally got that role on, I forgot what that first movie where he said, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, again, like it just spoke to me. Like you need to just put your all into it, no fucks given, and try your best every single day, you know? And you'll be able to create a life that you actually truly want. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And then just his travels and like his experiences and like, it's just, he's living life to the fullest. You know what I mean? Like, and as a human, I'm obsessed with human potential. I think we all deserve to live a life in our fullest capacity.
I truly wish you the best, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
I know you
Likewise.
will make it. A lot of fulfillment, a lot of accomplishment, a lot of success, and especially, I think you're gonna like this, being happy.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah. Always.
Thank you so much, man. Really,
Thank you,
really
dude.
happy
I
to do
appreciate
this
it.
podcast. And what do we do to connect with you if there's I don't know for real estate purposes, anything like that?
Yeah, just follow me at Matt Campoli, MattCampoli. And if you guys like coffee and parties, come to one of our coffee parties. We're traveling.
Maybe you're gonna
with
come
them
to
now.
Montreal.
We'll probably do
Maybe.
one in Montreal. Yeah, we'll probably do one in Montreal.
Hit me up. I would love to come there.
100%.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Boom.
Thank you.